Hey, what's happening? Thank you so much for pressing play on this special bonus edition of Podtastic Audio. On these very short bonus edition episodes, I deliver directly to you, cutting out all of the fluff, cutting out all the music, the intro, cut all that stuff out. And it's just me talking directly to you. So today on this little bonus episode, I want to talk about podcast promotion. If you've been podcasting for any length of time at all, eventually, if you have not already, you'll encounter one of these podcast, quote unquote, podcast promoters, whether it's on social media mostly, or maybe even a direct email. Usually they'll slide into your DMs on Instagram, TikTok, whatever you use. They will say, hey, you got a podcast. I will promote your podcast and get you, tons and tons of listeners. You pay me X amount of dollars and I'll get you a ton of plays on your show. And that sounds great. Like, wow, that sounds amazing. But if you guys kind of wonder, are these legitimate? Are they real? Are they real people listening? Chances are they're probably not. They've got these computer algorithms figured out to where they can literally get lots of plays and downloads onto your podcast. And there are lots of services out there that do this. And there's also lots of other services out there that can track these down, and they can tell whether or not your downloads, your massive amount of downloads you claim you have, is actually true or not. So it does nobody any good to have 1 million downloads that you bought from somebody else for your show. And it's not just with podcast downloads. It also can go for reviews, followers, subscribers, views on your YouTube, comments on your podcast, like Apple Podcasts, all the reviews, ratings and reviews. You can buy any of that stuff online, and they're always seem like they're out of another country. They're never here in America. They're in some other country, some foreign country where they can pretty much get away with whatever they want to do, and there's no rules and regulations for that. So, have you bought podcast promotion for your podcast? And if you have, why? Like, why would you do that? Is it to make yourself look bigger? Is it to potentially lie to a sponsorship and say, my show is really bigger than it really is? Look at my download numbers. Look right here. I've got 10,000 downloads an episode. Hello, look at this, Mr. Sponsor. And yet you've paid for those. If the sponsor knows what they're doing, they can go to the media host, and the media host can really figure out, is those actual real downloads or not? Or are they fake downloads? The funny thing about paying for podcast downloads is that because all the media hosts, all the podcasts out there in the world, all of the physical podcast download data is private to the podcaster themselves. Only you can see your own podcast downloads. So if you're paying a promoter to actually fluff your podcast numbers, just be aware of that. You are the only person that's going to be able to see that. Oh, I can take a screenshot, Chris, and I can share it out on social media. Dude, I can make a fake screenshot and a fake download list within like 5 seconds on my phone or on my computer. And I can screenshot that, and it will look just as good as if I bought them or I earned them. That's the mind trip. I was kind of thinking, why would you pay for podcast downloads if you are the only one that can physically see them? Now, there's one exception to the rule, and that would be YouTube. If you know anything about YouTube, YouTube will always display the views and subscribers for every person on YouTube. And this is probably the only time I'll ever say it's probably okay to pay for YouTube views. And I know you're like, what? What are we talking about? Well, the reason why is because it's easier for a show that already has proven popularity through views and subscriber numbers to gain more popularity. You wouldn't do it all the time, but if you were trying to build a YouTube channel, maybe invest a little money into buying subscribers and buying viewers just to kind of get the well pumped, prime the pump, as it were, to kind of get things going, because people will gravitate to bigger numbers. Have you ever noticed when you're on YouTube and you're watching a video, and to the right side or whatever, or down if you're on a tablet or a phone, they'll show you other suggestions of videos to watch. those videos usually are pretty popular too. They've got massive numbers into the thousands or multiple thousands. It's because they are popular, and YouTube will push the more popular videos out to more people more frequently. Your little video with 100 plays or less, it's going to be harder to break through. That's the only reason I would say to pay for subscribers and viewers. This is the only time I would do it. As far as audio podcasts go, forget it. I wouldn't pay for it. It's really up to you. But hey, enjoy your podcast journey and happy podcasting to you.